If you're watching this, the chances are you're parenting a neurodiverse child, and maybe you're feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or even like you're failing. My name's Karina. I'm a mother of a child with additional needs, and in this video, I want to give you some hope, some clarity, and a way forward. What about the meltdowns that leave you in tears? The wondering what to do. Should I go towards my child if they're having a meltdown? What if they hurt themselves? What if they hurt me? School calls that make your heart sink. You drop them off and then maybe a few minutes later, the school is calling you to pick your child back up. Or I remember when I would take my child to school and then I didn't get a call. But then that anxiety sort of built up and the anticipation built up when I went to collect him from nursery, because I would always think, oh no, I'm going to be told that he had a bad day, or he wasn't interacting with his peers, or God forbid he bit someone. You know, it was just, the anxiety was just so much. Or his older brother and sister looking at me for solutions and how to help their little brother, and also how to help them. You know, how do they as siblings navigate around a meltdown, navigate around not being able to communicate in his way, because he's non-speaking. And I talk a lot more about my story in my first video on this channel. And what about the judgment from others? The staring, the whispering behind your back and in front of your back, and also the judgment from yourself as a parent. The guilt, the frustration, the why can't I fix this thoughts. Trust me, they're all so common, but they don't define your worth or your ability to be a great parent. You're navigating something that most parenting books don't even touch on, and you're doing your best, even when you feel like you're failing. You know, most parenting advice is made for neurotypical children. So the likelihood is that it hasn't worked for you. It didn't work for me, certainly not. This is a reminder that you don't need to work harder. You just need to find a different route. One that meets your child where they are, but also supports you too as a parent or carer. Your nervous system matters. Your burnout matters. This journey has to include you. It's so important, not just for your child. This is why I created the Empowered Parent Pathway program, because I saw that there was a huge gap. So many parents were doing everything right and still burning out, and it can't continue that way. I know that there's no roadmap for, you know, how to feel confident, calm and connected as a parent to a neurodiverse child. Now, there are essentially four main pillars. The first one is to understand. Get clear on your child's neurodiversity, needs and behaviour. That comes with experience. You know, I spoke about my story and how I used to spend countless nights when my son wasn't sleeping, you know, Googling different therapies, ways that I can help him, supplements, courses, etc. You know, it was difficult to navigate around all that information, but I don't regret it, because at some point I felt that I was arming myself with so much information, and that sort of armed me and helped me on this journey to where I am now. The second pillar is to regulate. So learn to support your child's and your own nervous system. Again, look at your child, experience your child. This will be trial and error. There's no one size fits all. The third is to connect, to build communication, connection and trust. You know, my son is non-speaking, but he communicates. So there's no actual language there, but you know, he may pull me, and at times I don't want to get up, but I have to, because he can't verbally express to me what he wants or how he's feeling, you know, or If out of the blue he's having a meltdown, he's crying, and it's uncontrollable, I have to take a minute and think, okay, why is he acting like that? What led up to that? And sometimes it could be because he's just not well. He can't tell me, Mummy, I have a tummy ache, or, my head hurts, or my nose is blocked. He's 5 years old. He can't verbalize what he wants. So I just have to take a moment and breathe and think, recall my steps. What happened before this incident happened? How can I communicate with him? Maybe I could have some pictures on some cards and some storytelling, ways in how I can communicate with him. I'm not expecting him to communicate with me as in verbal. I have to try different tools. And the last one is empowerment. I want you to step into parenting with confidence, the tools and the compassion. Give yourself some grace. Now, in my coaching program, I offer weekly coaching with the tools to help support you and your child on a one-to-one basis. Now, this is not about fixing your child, absolutely not. And this is not health advice. It's just about transforming how you parent in a way that works for your family. Now, the outcomes of the program will be to create more peace at home, less guilt and self-blame, a stronger connection with your child, and confidence in your parenting decisions. You're not a bad parent, you're not doing anything wrong. If any of this is sounding familiar to you and you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving, I'd love to invite you into the Empowered Parent Pathway program. You can book a call with me and I can see if I can help you. The link is in the description box below. There's no pressure, just an open door.